Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin. Good evening. Hello, Demon Sub, Rumbly, Dandy85, Warboss, and Crispin so far in chat. As you can see, there's no Jerry. He has taken the evening off. He's not feeling well, so you'll have to deal with me alone. Welcome, Daveral, Oridoko Twitch, and my dog Skip. So, as it's very boring for myself to just talk about people's project without any input from our lovely guest or co-host, I decided to take you on a journey, and let me show you. See this? This is a painting area. And now, let there be light. Oh. Now there's a lit painting area. Oh, see, there's sound. Good thing we need some background music. I hope this is not too loud. Give me a word if it's too much. So, I've got a little miniature here that I'm going to be painting tonight. This is and I dare to speak that, a 3D printed miniature that has been sent to me by one Dr. Faust in regards to his latest miniature relocation program. Yes, Rumble. Metallic paints on a wet palette. Deal with it. So this is some kind of stunty dwarven fantasy fighter thingamajig, and I'm going to paint it. I have literally no clue where he's got him from, so if you want to know what miniature that is, you have to go to Dr. Faust Painting Clinic and ask him. I guess most of you will know who Dr. Faust is, and will have seen his painting clinic somewhere erect. I'm not going to spell that. Oh, now I remember, yeah. Stupid me. Fuck Ben, he knows what he did. Well, I think he knows what he did, and I'm pretty sure he's not very ashamed of it. So, I usually tend to start with skin paints, just to have the lowest portion done already. So, oh, that's a wrong skin paint. Because with this miniature, I want to go the classic paint range without speed paints. Hello, Alloyd. No Crispin, no Slop Chop, no Dick Whack, no Big Bang, not anything, just old school painty. So for the baseline tone of face and, let's see, hands. Yeah, hands have no gloves on. We will go with lovely army painter barbarian flesh. And to make things fun for everybody, feel free to ask me anything stupid regarding the hobby, preferably, and I'll be trying to give you an honest answer to all of your questions. I think for wash Crispin, those paints are a bit too thick, but you can thin them down, so I guess you can use them as wash or glaze. I feel I need to use 2 layers of some of them to have a decent coverage, especially the yellow and the skin tone. But all in all, 1 coat is enough. But you really need to have a light, what you call it? Oh, bloody hell. A baseline primer So if you go too dark, this would be the optimal level of gray and white to have to use these colors. If you go darker, it will eat the colors. They will just be too dark. Then they will start looking like, hold on, like these. And though these look like too bright in the camera, they're actually way darker in person. Yeah, I really love the speed paints for quick and dirty washing. But since this is a very much one-off miniature, I think I'll go the classical route. Also, just to have a bit more fun painting. And no, there's no reactivation on speed paints. At least I haven't experienced it in any way, shape or form. I think you can't call it reactivation if you paint over a freshly put down layer of paint that's still semi-wet. That's more or less a wet blending at that point, if you ask me. But nobody asks me. Nobody ever cares for my opinion. And then I go, haha, I see, I was right, you were wrong. And apologies if I'm getting out of focus. This is hard with old eyes. Dave Harbuttle, welcome. So it's more or less, I think, 6 weeks till Christmas. Have you all thought of your loved ones yet and decided on what you're going to get them? Have you put in your order? Remember, we are in a crisis year and deliveries will take forever and a year. Oh, Crispin is getting Ben a vibrator. That's nice. I'm pretty sure Ben will appreciate that. Just make sure it's clean. Otherwise it might get stuck in customs. Be labeled a potential health risk hazard. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, Aloy, people you care for. Note that I didn't say family. Because I know there are some people who really don't get along with their family, which is a totally different discussion topic on its own. Well, if you see it like that, you could just treat yourself, which isn't the baddest part, to be honest. If nobody else is caring to do something for you, you look after yourself. I'm not saying it's a great feeling, but it's better than just sulking. At least in my opinion. But then again, what do I know? I'm just an old fart sitting here painting miniatures. Jewelry for your mum? Even stuff when I was young, I got my mum the weirdest boxes of smelly water she usually used to base. Basically, I bought her whatever she used on a regular basis. I wasn't very thoughtful as a kid. I don't think I am now. Hello, Great Primer. No, Demon Sub. I think she won't be in chat, and if she is, hello, Demon Sub's mum. Welcome. Your little one is a highly regarded pillar of the community. You can be proud of him. Demon Sub, checks in the mail. Did I tell you that some people on the internet are trying to sell me into buying even more games? Horrible people, those. Dave, are you getting a mirror, or is your significant other buying herself a mirror and just pretending to give it to you so that she can keep it if you don't like it? Cheese knives. That's a thing I always wondered how those things are actually working. But then again, I'm not a big cheese fan. The closest I get to cheese is like it's on pizza, and at times it's in the chili cheese nuggets I make myself. But then again, that's all more or less processed cheese. A Proxon, Christmas, I reckon you mean the Proxon hot wire cutter. If so, I'd highly recommend hunt yourself down the foot pedal that is available to it, because that way you have both hands free to operate the machine while your foot is turning it on and off. Dave, I see your problem. Just gift her the TIE Fighter cockpit shaped mirror and then keep it for your hobby room or anywhere else. You're giving away an awful lot of cutting equipment, Arloyd. Is that some kind of trend? So that's metal, that's leather, that's going to be some kind of tunic. What color do I give the undergarment of this dwarf? These parts here, and these parts. This is just cloth, I guess. Which color should I go with? Green. Let's see, what kind of greens do we have? Is there any green on it? That's grey. It's not green. Come here. Well, that's grand. Stuck. I need to re-drill these holes for my paint holders. It's too tight. Well, I guess we'll stick with good old Dark Age shot screen. Hiya, my dog Skip Zork 2.0. Jerry is off to bed, haunting other people's dreams. He didn't say much more, so I'm guessing either he's very sick or very tired. Which happens if you travel a lot to meet with other people. Just to work. As much as I love these old paint pots, the lids, once they're shut, they are shut for good. "20-year-old paints and still good." I wonder if any of the modern paints will keep up this well. I doubt it. Yeah, Dave, but you don't have to be snarky all the time to amuse the common folk out on the screen. You just have to sit and relax and enjoy, well, as much as there's enjoyment to be had now that you're all just stuck with me. And to be fair, it's a rather weird coincidence, because I was actually contemplating about having a paint stream tonight either way. So when Jerry came and said, "Mate, I'm not feeling well, I'm going to skip, I'm going to bed," it was a very weird coincidence, but it works out in the end, at least for me it does. Yeah, and also, if you're too tired, you may have a slip of the tongue, and then we get into trouble. And I had that once, don't need that again. Thank you. A mix-up of events, and all of a sudden, the dogs of the internet are on your ass. Though it was just the one time and it went away quickly, so I guess that was my kind warning shot. Cookie Skater. I got this sent by Dr. Faust as a second mini in the parcel from a Patreon delivered miniature reallocation program, so I couldn't tell you. I know it's a 3D printed model, but you would have to go and ask Dr. Faust what it is, where it's from. Maybe, if we are very lucky, he'll join in. He occasionally comes in and says hi, even though his time zone is completely out of whack compared to ours. Which is always annoying. There are so many people I'd like to see more often. Or even try to make interviews with, or just have on stream talking, and they're just way out of my time zone. And since I'm only doing this in my spare time, it's very hard to make time for meeting up people outside this window. Yeah, it's potentially the other side of the planet, right? Well, I try to be Crispin because I hate making mistakes when painting. Because correcting mistakes is a pain in the ass. Oh, one question while I have a more multicultural audience. When time of Christmas comes around, in Germany it's tradition to have something that's called an advent calendar, which is basically a box with 24 little doors, and either it's filled with chocolate or other little goodies, and sometimes even beer or electronic device parts to build your own stuff, and Revell even does model kits that way. Is there anything similar in your neck of the woods? Do you do something traditionally that you never thought other countries might not have done? Yeah, Lego Star Wars Advent Calendar I had the last 3 years. Tuffy, there's no age restriction to Advent calendars, so why shouldn't you have one? It's a nice thing to start the day with something that brings joy and happiness. My wife does a homemade one for our daughter every year, so she gets random things that have been selected from us, by us, but also a chocolatey one, which is the one I personally like the most. Start the day with a little piece of chocolate. Brightens up your day. Oh, Dave, I know that tactic. I never can make it work because I'm a greedy bastard. Usually on a work week in the morning, I'm way too blind and too stumbly, and I just go on to work. But when I get home from work, then I usually go and open the door and munch away on a little piece of chocolate. Yes, so I know I've told people about that again, but there's the beer company Faxe doing a calendar box with 24 1-liter cans. Oh, Demon Stuff, yes, those are very much enjoyable. Those weird, bad calendars that Ashens and Nerdcube open. I'm a reliable reindeer. Oh, Dave, you need 2 for that then. If Stormtrooper Ale only do 2 times, 12. Oh! You need to send me that link, Darveral. Craft beer with advent calendar, that's interesting. That would be a very interesting Christmas evening. So, where do we go next? This is very tricky because usually I wouldn't start with metallics at this point, but since I'm trying to work from the inside to the outside, the metallics would be the next thing to paint. Maybe I just go for the boots first. Leathery boots. Where are leather? Now, painting eyes is always the very last thing, so if you have a perfectly fine painted model, you can mass it up in one fell swoop. And just go, bonkers, that sucks. Oh, and David, in case you hadn't noticed, no technical fuck-up yet. Sorry, mate. Well, I would use one alloy if I had one. All the snake-bitey leathery. So there's one user on the on tabletop/Beast of War site that I'm talking to quite often, which is Horatio Noseblower, and that sorting bastard is trying to lure me into more games by pretending I don't need to buy no minis not, but I know he's lying. Oh, that sounds like an easy job, Demon Sub. Now imagine those in, like, say, 10 mil. Getting tables worth of miniatures done within the hour. Dave, I'm not telling. It would be a bad example. Every regular viewer of XLBS Weekender should be familiar now by what he's trying to talk me into. Answers on a postcard. As Cookie Skater always says, no, I like not War Master. Thanks, Davero. Discord is currently closed because annoying desktop pingy sounds getting caught on stream, so I'll have to look at them when I'm getting off again. No, it's not Demon World also. It's a 28mm or more or less agnostic system. But nobody caught the example, so I'm not giving away any more clues. But it's a game very much in high regards with the team of OTD. No, not 40k or Kings of War. Those are usually not examples, are they? Oh, I'm disappointed in you. You're not. Jerry would have caught on by now. Nope, not one-page rules either. It is a commercial product. And the thing where he got me was it's actually translated into German. So, no excuse on my part there to not get it. Oh, I forgot to paint his stockings. Nope, skip. Not Dystopian Wars. Also, not an example usually taken on Weekender. Yes, Dave, I hate you too. But speaking of Star Wars Legion, I was, prior to stream, taking a look into the recording of the Twitch stream from Atomic Mass Games painting the insanely overpriced terrain piece of the crashed X-Wing. And it doesn't really look good, to be honest. Definitely not 90 euros good. No Toffee, Demon Sub is right. And now everybody needs to guess what example it is. Come on, lads and lasses. Oh, also, just in case anybody in chat is hiding who followed me from my Mastodon incidents, welcome. Nice to have you here. Feel free to jump in the discussion anytime you want, but it's fine if you just watch. Correct, Dave. With a touch of magic. Though I'm not totally sold on his explanations why I should use Star Wars Legion models for a Saga Age of Magic. Saga! Yeah, can't work them while using the same smartphone as a camera for sound effects. At some point in the future I might reactivate my old smartphone to work as a dummy for sound effects. But that may take some time. And to be brutally honest, I'm very happy on how people actually caught on to my little in-joke with Sega and Saga. That's a little bit too dark. Let's make some paints. Smartphone cameras have gotten very much better in the last 2-3 years. To the point where I actually think for most people a separate digital camera is just way too much. Unless you really go all in and take that as a separate hobby, and so you know what which setting on your camera does what. And unless you're willing to go that route, you should just stay with a decent camera on your smartphone. And it's scary what modern tech is able to do with picture quality improvements. God, it's way too close to the bottom with this little man. Can't paint the underside of his little satchel. Yes, I know most people won't even see that, but I know it's there and it needs to be painted. Subtitle, welcome! Yeah, Demon Sub, especially if you try to really go all in. My father has been a hobby photographer for the last 40 years, and some of the things he has are insanely expensive. It's just mental. Oh yeah, Doug, I've seen the video from Uncle Adam, and he also referred to an older video of his, which is also quite good. Is this dwarf, is his metal bronze or is it gold? I think it's bronze. Where are you, my little bronze? You're right, bronze. Rumbly, you're collecting board war and camera lenses? Are you some kind of insanely rich person? Well, Dave, there's always the trimming that needs to be painted additionally, so that can also be getting gold. Mithril. Wait. Like this one? The nice thing about hobbies like photography, these cameras keep their value relatively high. See? Wet palette and metallics. Ooh. And a cheap brush. Well, selling miniatures, if that makes you rich, you had to have invested the same amount of money or more before that, I guess? Can't decide if that's plated leather or actually metals. Oh, I hate miniatures. I have no picture references for. I'm going with that as leather and this is metal. If I suddenly stop talking, it's not because I'm zoning out, it's just because I'm very bad at talking and painting. And I really admire people who can do this on a much higher skill level. Like the before mentioned Dr. Faust, which if you haven't, you should give him a follow or even maybe go on his Patreon and have a look, see if that's anything you can get something out of. Yeah, that's not going to work, Alloyd. I highly doubt that. Half the words you just mentioned, Demon Snub, are way beyond my mental capacities in regards to taking pictures. I know how to hold a button and not move, or even use a tripod to make better pictures. And actually, when we just talked about the what you call it, the latest video of Uncle Adam regarding using a tripod for your camera, the other thing he mentioned was put your miniatures on some kind of raised level so that your camera is on the same level as the miniature or slightly below. I tried this for the first time after I finished my last batch of undeads, and I really like the results. It's a pain in the ass to set up, but the results are nice. I may do it again. Well, as I just said, Nick, if it's sitting on the shelf, it's safe. It's an investment. Don't break it, and you'll be able to either use it again sometime or just sell it. Also, somehow I find it's much more fitting to use a small camera in your smartphone to take pictures of small little tiny whiny man. I today just watched, I forgot the name of the YouTube channel, the one where the ex-Games Workshop employee Peachy just landed. They were talking about how Games Workshop takes pictures for the magazines and how much work that is. Yeah, my big problem is I only got 2 decent lights for lighting miniatures, and those are my 2 lights I'm currently painting with. And as you can probably judge by the shadows, it's just light from above, which doesn't really work well. Oh, I need a drink. No, it's not the funny orangey one, it's citrus. Have fun, Alloyd. Don't get lost while walking, dog. Where's my brown? Oh, there it is. I've got that box, some kind of box as well, but it's very small. It's not an A4, it's maybe A5. So putting in more than 1 miniature at a time is really okay. Also not working is the oak brown, I think. I think it's spent. I think I need a new brown. Not much left in this one. There's my black. One thing I really would like to use for some 3-dimensional shots would be some kind of automated turntable, but then again, that wouldn't solve the problem of lighting. Plus, I don't have much space to put up many lights to light up miniatures. feel so dirty using Games Workshop paints, but they were free. They came with miniatures. I need a dark brown. It's too dark. Also, I might add, I'm not taking notes of any of my paints because I'm a heretic. The color looks actually much nicer on camera than or in reality currently, but that may be just the angle and the way the light reflects. Yeah, Dave, who has got time to paint miniatures? No duck. We get the flamethrower. Welcome, Taurus. No grey-bearded old man besides myself tonight. I hope you're not too disappointed. Painting some weird 3D printed dwarf. And the more I say it, the dirtier I feel. I have the feeling next week when Jerry is hopefully back, I'll need to have some kind of do some kind of absolution. Yes, Orinoco Twitch, but these are always deleted after a time. Well, not on YouTube, on Twitch, that is. Fair enough. But I would need to go back and look. And as I'm a very lazy person, I'm probably not going to do that. Taurus, I almost feel being a grey-bearded old man is something mandatory for the hobby. And that's why Cookie Skater Cutter doesn't qualify. And if he's listening, love you, Paul. No, not really loving you, but yeah, you know what I mean. You get my gist. And if David is still there, he's probably now just shitting himself laughing. Not at the moment, Taurus. Some other day. There's ample material of that sitting next to me on the floor, waiting for paint. Yes, David, I'm a weirdo. That's nothing new. Neither is it an insult. You need to come up with better things, man. So you're basically saying you look like Warren trying to grow a beard, yes? Because that's basically what has nothing as majestic, or even worse. Well, that's bad. Well, it's not bad, but if you really wanted to have a beard, that's unfortunate. But then again, there need to be beardless men, otherwise people wouldn't know what's better looking, is it? Can't have light without darkness, can't have good without evil. Can't have joy without sorrow. Tune again next week for even more deep, in-depth psychological thingamajigs. See, I now made a painting error because I was talking, and this will cost me dearly. Yeah, that's also true, Dave. Can't have roses without the shit. And you can't have 3D printed stuff without the wrath of Jerry breathing down your neck. And also mine. Especially if there's print lines to be seen. Which is a good thing that this model doesn't have any of those. That makes painting much easier and nicer. No, can't live with that. Still need to make some corrections, I guess. So hands up, who else apart from David is using magnifying lenses while painting for the hobby? I'm very much looking forward to get something along those lines. There's just too much leathery stuff on this. But since these are only just base colors, I might as well. And then change it up later with different highlights and stuff. Maybe some washes. Oh, Demon Sub, if you're at that point, I'm sorry to say that's when it goes downhill fast. That was the point when my lovely wife started grinning at me, telling me I need to go to the optician and have my eyes checked and get some new glasses. Getting older is... being old isn't bad, but the body restrictions that can happen are really annoying. Yeah, Nick, that's also a thing I was looking at. Because the glasses to put on your head, I've tried some and they just... they didn't fit well with my brain. It just made me feel dizzy. So, hoping a magnifying glass on a swivel stand will do me favors. Thanks for the follow, friends of General Haig. And welcome. Now you've disrupted my train of thought. I was just thinking of what color to use next. And I think I need to put this brush away. Since I don't have brain matter beige, I'll just use mummy robes. all the feathers on the arrows and the ropes. The feathery end of the arrow, what's it called again? Quiver? Or no, quiver is the one, the thing where you collect all the arrows, is it? Thinking in a different language while painting is that would be very nice, Nick, because I'm still looking at various options. Taurus, I find myself in the position where, as I have started using better lighting for painting, it actually made me enjoy it more, because I actually could see the paints better interact with each other, and they didn't turn weird or wonky when looked in bright daylight. But then again, if you all only play and paint in the same area, yeah, doesn't make a difference, I guess. So where was I? There I was. Maybe that's just too bright a bit. Where was it? We can always darken down. Darken down is always much easier than brightening up later, I find personally. Simply because if it's too bright, just slap a wash on. Also, has the trend of talking about slop chapping, dick slapping, no, was it? Slap chop, finally died off again? It felt like something that was a very high burning fire for a couple of days, and now it's dead again. I mean, it's an interesting way to paint miniatures. I enjoy the process very much, but all in all, it's nothing revolutionary. At least in my book. It's one of the many ways to paint your minis. Choose the way you enjoy the most. That's most comforting for you. That's the way you get into the zone and make little happy accidents. If you want to avoid little happy accidents, then always wear a condom. Can't guarantee you that it will help avoid painting accidents, but it will help avoid any other accident you might have to pay up for later in life. If you know what I mean. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah, they're pretty much the same. It's, every week there's something new they need as a catchphrase for the clickbait titles. If you want to make a living from content creation, I guess that's something that's par for the course. Taurus, as I've alluded before, I really don't know. This mini I was gifted by Dr. Faust when he sent me a prize I won on his Patreon. So even if I wanted, I couldn't tell you. So, great question to the audience. Beard and hair of this little fellow chap. What would you suggest I go for? I'm really tempted to go full mental red on this one. Though I have to be honest, I might actually go back for a speed paint on that, because I really like the effect the red speed paint does on hair. I know it would be cheating. Hey, it's my mini. I cheat as much as I want. I can try to lift it up close and have it in focus. Yeah, it's a nice little miniature. I'll be taking pictures along the way and posting them on the old Instagrams. Yeah, it's a poor little deformed elf who got knocked on the head once too often. Now, the magic of speed paints. Cheapy elf. Don't make me laugh while I'm painting, please. This is really a strain on my eyes. Welcome, Ralph. And I won't cross the streams, I hope. Oh, I've got an idea for a hilarious April Fool's thingamajig. Release miniatures that have the numbers of the color you need to apply to them at any certain part as part of the miniature. You know, like these paint by number pictures kids like to use to do. Only on miniatures. Demon Sub, we're currently on a hiatus. Ralph is in chat and can confirm we will get back. We talked about it, and Andor is a... how to put it? If I say it's a slow show, it's not in a negative way, but I think it merits a podcast episode to talk about it in completion. And to be frank, so far I'm loving the series. It's Star Wars for adults. No, not badly paced, not at all. It's like a good story told in its own pace, and it really keeps you on the edge of your seat. And there are sudden changes in story that you might actually not foresee. At least I have not foreseen a couple of things that happened, especially later. But I'm not going into more details in case you haven't seen it, so you'll have to enjoy it on your own. I'm guessing Andor will be one of those TV series that's great as a series, and will be a great movie once it's all out and you can binge watch it. And if you have seen Rogue One, it's very much in the same vein. It might even be a bit less Star Warsy and a bit more dark, for lack of a better term. You can't compare it to Spaceballs. Seriously. You can't compare it to Spaceballs the same way you can't compare it to the best movie ever. Yeah, of course you can, and nobody's going to stop you, but I'm going to say you're wrong. Well, I think this is a nice shade of red for a dwarf. Though I just realized that either his hat has a very odd-looking metal rim. I don't know if that's visible because there's a gem, there's some kind of rivet, and a gem again. So I might need to repaint that in some kind of metallic. And also, I forgot to paint the back of his head, because he obviously has no hair on the back. For whatever reason. Get over here. Well, Taurus, on a 3D printed model, a mold line would be a very interesting thing. To be honest, the sword was broken off, but it's a very thin part. And I'm not sure if this is meant to be a dagger or if this part actually broke off as well, and I just didn't find the missing piece in the package. Spaceballs the Nichium. Oh, Rumbly, I'm pretty sure you've seen the weird post today in the Bot War Facebook group with a lad showing off the early versions of Bot War. I'm not sure if that was just to make Matthew go, please don't post these, or if this was a genuine question on where did I get them. Oh, Dave, interesting idea. 3D prints with mold lines and screw gates. Thick as thumbs. Oh, you don't know what I'm talking about, Rumbly. Did I catch you off guard there? Did I? Yeah. See. There's that. This is going to be metallic. His headwear. We've got green, and we've got red, and we've got brown. What color should the headgear be? Green as well? Blue? Trying to imagine that now. I don't think I like yellow on that. Yeah, probably I would have guessed as much that the post would have gone down by now. Simply because Anthony is very much sensible on not to stir any copyrighted dragons. So, blue. But what blue? Enchanted blue or Ultramarines blue? I think we go old school. The man flu is a horrible thing to have, Dave. Good luck getting better. And Prince of General Haig, I was tempted of asking about tartan, but I don't think I want tartan on a cap. And also, there's still this part cloth running around here, our little bugger. I might try my hand on tartan with that, but that's nothing I'm going to try on camera. Oh no, MacLeod Blues out of stock at Games Workshop. What will the poor MacLeod Blue buying people do now? Buy a different shade of blue? But honestly, I hate when companies change their paintings. I can understand if they need to reformulate a certain color because either the resources have gotten way too expensive or maybe something has been classified as unhealthy. Oh, and while we're on the subject of the Great Guru, the Warhammer store locally here still is looking for a new manager. Anybody care to move to my town and work as a store manager for the big company? Dave, to be honest, I know some of the local Warhammer community, and most of them are alright. But, no. And especially after listening to stories of Jerry and now Peachy telling stuff from his experience on the new channel. No, thank you. Combine that with we don't pay as much as you might deserve. That's a no for me. I like to get paid properly. I'm very much capitalist in that sense that if I do good work, I get good pay. On the other hand, I could use that as an opportunity to save some poor souls from just spending way too much on weird miniatures and paints. And just send them along on their jolly way to the next friendly local game store. That also carries Games Workshop if they like, but to a more affordable price and maybe some additional random things they might enjoy more. Saga, for example. Saga! Oh, I've missed that Legion paint tutorial, Grimwolf. I need to look that up again. Oh, and even so, I have worked retail and I have worked in a musical facility that is called a discotheque. So I know that people can be real assholes. And extrapolating from stories I've been told, I really don't want to work for Games Workshop. At least not currently. There may be trying times ahead and I need to make some money. Then I might be tempted. But then again, how much do you value your soul? Oh, I guess that's why I didn't watch it, Ralph, because my Cassian and my K2SO are already painted. No need to watch painting tutorials on miniatures that are already done and dusted. And why didn't any of you tell me that I forgot to paint the string on the crossbow? You're a horrible audience for not shouting at me, forgetting things. You're supposed to be rude and loud and noisy and obnoxious. And here you are, sitting there, being all lovely and nice to each other. It's terrible. Also, did everybody see and realize that we haven't been visited by a horrible sex bot in a long time? So I'm guessing the channel has become so boring, not even the sex bots want to join in anymore. Crispin as dog handler, or just Crispin as a name giver for your dog handler, Dave? That's a very weird way you phrased that. I don't know. Almost made a mistake. And that would have been a very unhappy mistake because it wasn't on purpose. Ah, Dave, I see what you mean. No, Crispin isn't a sex bot because he's an actual living being. You've outlawed them in Texas. That explains a lot of things. If you outlaw all things that are enjoyable and make fun, life more fun. Outlawing sex bots. Okay, this is not going to work. Using the same brown for the arrow as for the quiver isn't very helping. Also, I found I missed some feathers. As you see, I'm all over the place. It's okay, because I'm just painting for myself. This is not a tutorial. By no stretch of the imagination. This isn't even a best practice video. It's quite the opposite. It's how not to paint a mini. At least, I think that's what I probably qualify for. Crispin, are you serious on that? Can't own more than 5 vibrators in Texas. So what happens to all those people who have, let's say, a PlayStation 5 and 3 controllers? Those could be seen as a vibrator. Goddamn world's crazy. Fucking lunatics. So, what happens if the vibrator isn't penis-shaped then? Does it still count as a vibrator? Like those egg things and these more or less non-formed things? Don't make video games dirty. Oh, Nick. I'm not sure if you had seen certain games of the 80s era. I wouldn't be the first to make games dirty. When I was 12, I owned a C64. Well, technically I still own it because it's in my garage. And as most of you know it, in the 8-bit era, most software came from friends, and we swapped floppy disks on the schoolyard. And I somehow acquired a game which name totally escapes me now. But I clearly remember it was a adventure of sorts, where the main task was to hit the, I think it was the F5 key, in the exact rhythm the game was giving you. And while you were doing that, on screen was a very rudimentary graphic of a man and a woman doing naughty things with naughty bits. So, yeah. Sex games were in computers way before my time. I'm taking a lot of blame for many things. Not that one. Not having that one on my list. That's other people's doing. I'm just enjoying the content. Laser Suit Larry, anyone? That dirty old bastard. Oh, that was a mistake. Can't see the thing. Oh no. Later, Ralph. Have a good night. Autoros, maybe explain that your dog is collecting these things and stealing it from the neighbors. Just make sure that there are some gnaw marks on them. Oh, those aren't mine. Those are the dogs. They love the tingly feeling when they chew on them. I need to look something up. Hold on a sec. Thought as much. Okay. Yeah, Dave, let's not deep dive into that one, please. It makes body parts hurt. Not going to think about it too much. La 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 la. You horrible people. Oh, I disagree there, Aloyd. Teeth can be fun, but only at certain places, and not at those we were just mentioning. And what is it with you lot that hobby always gets dirty? You very dirty people. Dirty, dirty, dirty. I like that. Who said that? Crispin, just make sure that you ask your significant other to before you start setting up cameras. There might be some irritation otherwise. Oh, Dave, I'm pretty sure if Ben was in the States, we would have noticed by now. I have the feeling there would be some kind of weird news out there. Something along those lines like Florida man does ... only that it wouldn't be Florida man. Unless, of course, our lovely Crispin is actually a Florida man. Oh, and if you ever get bored, you out there, Google Florida man or woman, depending on your choice, and your date of birth, and see what comes up. But don't blame me for any mental harm that you can get from that. Be prepared for some very, very odd things. Oh, Demon, I think that video of Crispin and Ben meeting would be very much anticlimactic. Because I'm putting it out there, I think Crispin will be a very lovely guest and host to Ben, recording everything he does, and then when Ben is gone, using the power of magic video editing to make some very interesting video footage. Nope, I'm not going to repeat that. Crispin, I think most of OTT members would like to have a great gathering of users, just to see if we're all the weird wankers we claim to be in real life. Sadly, given the current state of things and the basically the fact that the world is a fucking large place, That's probably not going to happen. Even if Warren comes through on his promise on doing a OTT road tour of sorts. Giving the green bit a second layer. Because as it now has dried, I see some spots I like hidden. Good people is a relative broad term, but I think I'll just say, yeah, probably right. Especially when it comes to serious topics and people needing help. And I guess that's what's keeping OTT afloat and alive. The community not being complete assholes and wankers like some other parts of the internet seem to be at times. Welcome to the internet. I think when George Lucas wrote the line, "You'll never find another more wretched place of hive and scum and villainy," or whatever it is in English. Sorry for butchering that line. That pretty much describes the internet, doesn't it? Yeah, Demon Sub, money would be the biggest issue for most. And time. I need to put in at least 3 complete days to make it work in any way, shape, or form. So unless any of the OTT friends and family, team, or member is around here locally, I highly doubt that I will be seeing any of you. At least in real life. I'd love to stand corrected at sometimes. But that's for future me to see. Do you also have the thing that when you start painting a miniature and you see a part and think of it in one way, and while you're adding paint you suddenly start to see details that you had missed before, and now you see, okay, this needs to be painted differently? I just realized that this upper part is actually not wood but metal, and for some odd reason my brain was telling me this is going to be brown as well. But it's metal, so it's not going to be brown. Oh, mold line, yes. Crispin, I'm not gaming tabletop-wise, and that's the same generally as talking to you here or with Jerry on the screen. It's not really meeting. I know it's getting closer to just talking via text, but it's a completely different beast. Especially when you meet up with people who are so different in size. If the older in the audience might remember a certain Sam of OTT fame. Imagine him being on a hangout locally, physically, in real life, and everybody is just looking down on him in the most literal sense, because he is a short boy. That doesn't mean he's not a nice person. Yeah, you're not wrong, Crispin. You're not wrong. But still, it's missing a lot. Meeting people in person, in real life, there's so much more that goes into conversation, body language, because you can see the complete body and not just a torso and an arm. And the way people lean forward and backward and all. I found watching for body language signs is really key for talking to some people. Also, the best thing when meeting in real life is you can actually share a drink. AKA nick someone's booze before they drink it. Can't really do that over the internet. Where are all the gays? I think painting a black leather belt on a dark brown undergarment is a really bad idea. I barely can see the edges and contrasts. On the plus side, arrows won't be so easily spottable, will they? I must say I'm quite pleased with progress so far. And I think, as I'm running out of talking steam, and my throat starts to hurt a bit, we'll be closing up shop for today. Have a closer... Oh, still not really comfy on how to work this. So this is how far we got. Ooh. Still a lot of work to do, potential things. Oh, bugger. Yeah, this needs to be fixed prior. There's no skin color on the inside of the eye. This can't be happening. I was wondering why he looked so odd at that point. See, this is why you take pictures of your miniatures. to make sure you get every little detail, and then ask yourself, why the fuck have I seen that before? Answer, because you're blind as a bat. And also, because you're talking too much. That's better. I'm pretty chuffed with the progress as myself. David, I will now shut this down. The lights will go dim. Prepare for happy face inbound. If I stopped talking, I wouldn't be any company to myself. That would be very boring. So, thanks everybody for being here tonight. Thank you on YouTube watching this video later, maybe, perhaps, eventually. Excuse me. Hope to see you a lot join me and Jerry on the Yellow Belly tabletop stream on Thursday. Unless David just tells me that doesn't happen, but I'm guessing it will be happening. So let's go and watch Yellow Belly tabletop, cookie cutter, skater, thingamajig, and ball. Good night.